a meeting to order at 6:01. And let's stand for the pledges, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag and Mexico, and the example of regular country online and agriculture. Thank you all for being here. We have a full house today. And I will entertain a motion for approval of the agenda for February 9th, 2026. I'll make the motion to approve the agenda. Let's present. Motion by Mrs. Escobar, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Jella. Oh, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. We'll move on to item number 3, approval of minutes for the regular meeting of January 19th, 2026. I'll make the motion.
I'll make the motion to approve minutes for the meeting.
Motion by Mr. Della. Oh, do I have a second?
Yeah.
Seconded by Mr. Pada. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. We'll move on to 4 action items. Discussion and possible action on bond sale.
Right, so we have a presentation on our finance plan today.
Yeah. So stand by over here.
Wherever you like.
Yeah.
6 years. Okay.
Never mind, study.
Well, good evening, President, Superintendent, members of the board. My name is Kaylee Weinerskirch with RBC Capital Markets. I'm here tonight because in front of you are a range of resolutions that allow the school district to go forward with the sale of $1,625,000 with the New Mexico Finance Authority. You know, before we get to those approvals though, I do just have a brief finance plan update for you tonight. So without further ado, I'll jump right into it. But first, starting on slide 1, we have the district's history of assessed valuation. Now, looking at tax year 2025, or current year, the district's assessed valuation did slightly decrease by just 0.5% to an assessed valuation of $151.2 million. You know, overall, though, your 5-year average growth rate is sitting at 0.4%. Your 10-year average growth rate is still sitting at 1.6%. You know, part of the reason why this drop in AV happened is partly due to those veterans exemptions that voters approved back in the November 2024 election. You know, we did see that impact your assessed valuation. Your veterans exemptions jumped from 391,000 to 926,000. So those have already hit the tax rolls. You know, we haven't really seen the disabled veteran exemption hit yet. Just across the whole state, we're seeing that a lot of counties didn't promote it, a lot of veterans didn't know to file for it. So we're still expecting that to hit the tax rolls, but that should only be about $200,000 of value. Continuing on to slide 2, we have the district's history of tax rates. So the district has an operating mill levy in place of 50 cents, along with an SB 9 and 2 mill levy. And then the district has also historically levied a $6.71 tax rate for your general obligation bond program. In total, your residential tax rate has been floating around $9.15. Our current plan of finance is based off of keeping your tax rates at these current levels. So the approval of tonight's bond will not increase tax rates. You know, it's just keeping everything level and on the same track. Going to slide 3, we have the district's current outstanding debt. And so the district currently has $4,215,000 of general obligation bonds outstanding across 7 different issuances. Each of these issuances were sold with the New Mexico Finance Authority. For this sale, we're planning on going through the New Mexico Finance Authority again because it continues to be the lowest cost option available to the district. You know, for this sale, we did run a comparison on if we go through the NMFA again versus public markets, and we found that continuing to go the NMFA is the cheaper option by an all-in true interest cost of about 1.2%, which was about $80,000 of net interest. You know, additionally, for callable bonds, you know, the 2013 and the 2015 are currently callable. We're looking at those 2 issuances. If we see that they come in the money, if we see that rates kind of pull back throughout the year, there could be some refinancing opportunities on the table for us. That's something that we're looking at. All right. So moving on to slide 4, this is just the district's overall debt interest plan. So as I mentioned, the district has that $2, that SB9 mill levy in place. We renewed that back in 2023. Those are good for 6 years, so we don't need to renew that until 2029. The district did just have a successful election for $3,350,000 this last November. We're getting ready to sell the first installment now. That second installment, we were planning for 2028, but we can sell it in 2027 if you guys have some needs up front. We definitely have that flexibility. That authorization lasts for 4 years until it expires. So really, as long as we get it out the door before November of 2029, we're in good shape. Additionally, on the slide, we have the district's legal bonding capacity. So state statute allows school districts to bond up to 6% of their assessed valuation. 6% of your assessed valuation comes out to about $9 million. Because we have 4.2 million outstanding, that means we could legally issue an additional 4.8 million. The reason why we're only going out for $1,625,000 right now, though, is because of your tax rate capacity. A larger issuance at this time would require a tax rate increase. And as I mentioned, our plan of finance is based off of keeping your tax rates low. On slide 5, this is just kind of a visual of the election timing. So we already talked about SB9 for your GO bonds. With the 2025 election, our plan is to go back out to voters for GO bonds in 2029. That election amount we're currently projecting is $3.5 million. But that future election amount really just depends on your assessed valuation. If we see a growth in your AV, that future election amount will go up. Counterly though, if we see a drop in your assessed valuation, that election amount will go down. The rest of the presentation I won't go through. It was just some refreshed information about the constitutional amendment updates regarding the veterans exemptions. I also do have a market update in the back too, that I won't bore you with. Just regarding the market with the timing of the sale. So looking at 2026 as a whole, our economists are pricing in 1 to 2 rate cuts in 2026. The Fed is just really focused on inflation, but also trying to figure out the labor market too. And it's kind of this delicate balance of cutting rates to, encourage the labor market, but not having inflation take off again. With this in mind, 2 rate cuts priced into 2026. The earliest we're thinking would be in June or July. Overall though, despite those 2 rate cuts, our analysts are thinking that rates will hold steady, maybe even slight upward pressure throughout 2026, just because of geopolitical tensions, stuff going on with the US dollar, stuff of that sort. So with that in mind, we don't really see a benefit in waiting for the district's bond sale. If you guys have needs up front, then we're ready to get going. And with that, I stand if there's any questions.
I do have a question. It's showing in November 2029 going out for SB9 and another GO loan.
Yeah,
So that'd be kind of, we haven't done that
yeah,
for 2.
yeah. So, there is always a little bit of a risk when you give 2 questions to voters, right? Just voter psychology, voters are more likely to vote that second initiative down. With that in mind, we do have a couple tricks up our sleeve. We could potentially go out for GO again in 2027 and we could stack the authorizations. That way it would be 1 ballot question in 2027 and then the SB9 in 2029. That could be an option for us too, if we're concerned about, the community supporting 2 initiatives.
We can discuss that, but we have time. I was
Yep.
curious when I saw that.
Yeah, very good. That's what I'm looking at.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
On the veterans exemption, we know that they went up to 10,000, correct? For those that have qualified, right?
Yes, it was an automatic. So everyone who already had that exemption automatically went.
Okay, so now what went in there as well as the percentage on disabled, is that on top of the 10,000?
Yes. Yep. So disabled veteran could qualify for both of the exemptions. Yep.
If in 2029, if we went out for both during that same election, would taxes increase at that point?
No, no, and it's because that SB9 mill levy, that $2, we would just tell the voters that this is just a renewal of a continuation of an already existing mill levy.
Oh,
Yep, so that SB9 would just be renewing it, and then for that GO bond election amount, we would be targeting a debt service tax rate of $6.71 again, and just keep everything level. And we like that, because then you guys can communicate to voters, no tax rate increase, no changes. Those are the valid initiatives that usually, voters approve.
Any questions? No. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now we will move on to consideration of an approval. The resolution authorizing sale of school bonds, establishing procedures for the sale and delivery of the bonds. Authorizing and approving submission of a completed application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority, and authorizing other matters related to the issuance of the bonds. So I will entertain a motion for approval.
And did you do the first one?
Oh, that's what we were doing already. No?
Yeah, that was just the presentation, so we
Oh,
need to
okay.
approve 1 and 2.
You would also need to approve consideration of an approval of a resolution authorizing and approving submission of a completed application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority. We can entertain a motion for both. Okay.
We can do it, right? Like, motion to vote, right? Or do they need to be separate?
It's for online.
Yeah, good.
If I may, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I think that I would prefer that it's cleaner if we have a separate motion for each
For each
of those
one.
resolutions.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course.
So we'll do the first one.
I will entertain the motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the consideration of and approval of the resolution. Authorizing and approving submission of a complete application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority.
Motion by Mrs. Esquivel. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Della O. It's a resolution, so we need to roll call.
Yeah, I don't have anything.
All in favor? Any opposed? If that motion carried,
Carlos,
resolutions are usually.
Yes.
does this need to be a roll call vote?
It should be if you, yeah, please do a roll call vote.
Okay.
I will take roll, Mr. Prada, Mr. Della O,
Aye.
Mrs. Esquivel, and myself, aye. So we will move on to item 2. I will entertain a motion for consideration of an approval of a resolution authorizing sale of school bonds, establishing procedures for the sale and delivery of the bonds, authorizing and approving submission of a completed application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority, and authorizing other matters related to the issuance of the bonds.
Motion is approved.
Motion by Mr. Potta. Do I have a second?
I second the motion.
Seconded by Mr. Della O. I will take roll call. Mr. Potta,
Aye.
Mr. Della O,
Aye.
Mrs. Esquivel, and myself, aye. No. Okay. So now we will go ahead and move on to item number 5, reports.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. I'll be back in the spring to present those sale results.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your night.
You too.
All good. There you go.
Will you start on?
Yes.
Okay, any questions for Lance?
Uh,
Any questions for Ryan?
So I was thinking. Let me just start it. So the expansion of the DTMS, the cafeteria. Can we get a second quote or second opinion to see if it's possible to move the cafeteria into the gym again? And that way, maybe get the 2 projects from the concession stand cafeteria
like how it used to be when I was in DTMS. They had to fold their tables, they pull them out, put them back in, and then we could probably cover the sides with that cushion. I don't know, I was just seeing if we could do something like that.
Long would be. Second,
Because
Third
wasn't there like a kitchen already in there prior?
Yes, there was a kitchen in there when they redid it. I don't know when they redid it back in, I'm assuming it was like 2006, 2007. They took out the kitchen. And the kitchen, it was right there where the boys locker room is at, right in that little opening where we have the concession and that storage that's there that I think, the 5th and 6th grade P class use for storage of all their equipment, that was the kitchen area. So with that I'm sure that there's plumbing and gas lines and all of that kind of stuff as well.
I'll just.
I mean, we can do it.
It might be
Yeah,
more money, but I just wanna see it. Look close, makes a difference
okay.
with that bond.
We can do that.
It's a necessary need for our kids to do it. Even if we have 4 or 5 days.
First one, have we rectified the safety on the doors?
The doors?
Yes.
Yeah, the Pace builders out of El Paso, they were supposed to come, but we had a maintenance staff member out in surgery, so they're gonna wait.
Do we have that resolution date
What's that?
to resolve this? Do we have a date, a tentative? Before next,
We won't be before, we'll get a quote before next board meeting, but we won't have, until they come out, we won't know the time on anything.
the second question, Ryan. Have we had that second test from EPA for the water?
Got the samples in the mail today, so we'll get them sent off tomorrow.
I have another question. Are we engaged with the city to see if we are in compliance, if they're in compliance, or where's this source coming from for the filtrations?
Well, we know it's coming from the city, because all the lines within high school are ready, so.
But is there such a report from that first testing that the city's in compliance or not in compliance?
No, it just says whether we have, just tells us what we have, it doesn't say where it comes from, right?
Okay, but it
We
just,
sent an email to Mayor Neves, we're in the process of working on the city.
I don't even ask this is because if it's been an issue, correct? So therefore, if it's, the source is the city, we need to see that directly before we can take action on our filtrations.
And also on that note, I was thinking of the New Mexico Unit Fund grants. They have a lot of funding that they're trying to bring back into the Hidalgo area, like Hidalgo, Luna, and part of Arizona. But they have a public input meeting here at the high school next Tuesday. And they're really wanting to work with like municipalities. So I don't know if the school board, if one of the school board members can maybe attend. And someone from the city. But I think a conversation will need to be had by the city prior to. That way, maybe we can work together and see if it's something that they can even do. Yeah.
Mayor or something.
Yeah.
They agree with him.
I know it's late notice, I just saw it, but. That's an option.
Any other questions for Ron?
I did just wanna say good job to, everyone in operations from the audit. Cause there were no significant deficiencies, and I just wanted to say good job to you guys. Oh, we can?
It's not public yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
You guys did not hear anything, okay, let's move on.
We still appreciate our minutes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Next question, just kidding. You want to talk about the gold green? Oh, I just wanna if I may, Dr. Lucas, say thank you for all our school board members, Dr. Lucas, for being present at this year's legislative session for the school board. We have proactive meetings with Senator Ramos and Mrs. Jones. We got a lot of information, I believe. Senator Ramos promised us that he'll build a project for the RBT toilets and sinks. So I'll hold him accountable for that because he did tell all of us, right? That he's gonna fulfill that project for us. We did get a lot of help from the Mexico cog. We're gonna jump with them for any little projects, grant writing, to any little source that we need, they're gonna be there for us. At one of our trainings, I stood up and asked about this water system that we're having trouble getting grants for. It's called Go Green. They have a lot of air quality grants. Ms. Daniel already wrote an email to them asking about any water grants. So we can see if we could get filters at all of our schools. But yeah, it was a proactive couple of days and I'm really happy that all 5 members were able to go and represent our school.
Any other questions for Ron?
No.
Okay. For Bill Sullivan, go first.
Those verses, well, they don't say it.
Well, probably for Molly and their first.
Okay, basically, I just wanted to inform you, last meeting that we had, I did say changes were coming. And I put them in there, 3rd and 4th did go to a departmentalized instruction where every teacher is teaching one subject. And so that's moving along, we started January 20th. And we did a little survey for the kiddos. I have the results and their questions. If they liked it, what could we do better? And which one was their favorite subject? So we have very small classes. We're hoping that we can close a lot of the gaps that we have. And so hopefully this will help the kids get stronger in their education. And our family event went very well. I want to thank operations. Because there was a misunderstanding. Our custodian was gone for the day. Our sub custodian was supposed to be there half a day, but he wasn't there half a day. So then we called in all the troops and they all came and helped us clean the cafeteria and everything. So that was very nice. Otherwise, we're just moving on. Does anybody have any questions?
Can you tell us those results from the kids?
I have them.
Yeah.
With that. I have you a copy and it's not in color, okay?
Getting there.
I know.
Colors, just kidding.
So basically, we have, there was a total of 37 votes. For yes. And for, I said, you know that I'm what? And total votes were for 15 for no. But, and there's still a couple of kids missing, and I think it was just one class that missed the survey. But in the front, you'll see the questions, and in the back, you'll see the results. And then we'll just try to make it more engaging for them. It's something new. Of course, you know, they've always been in one classroom, so they were having like little withdrawals of being with their friends. But they'll get it.
You know, I really love that. It prepares them for junior high. Yes, of course, we have the 5th grade classes, but they kind of have an idea and.
And it's just too much for an elementary teacher to be teaching all the reading components, all of the math, all the social emotional. It's just too many things. And if we can just be the master of one, hopefully we can.
I mean, hopefully we'll see the numbers,
Yes.
our grades go up too.
I mean, it won't be like right now because, yeah.
Should be good.
Hopefully, just positive progress. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good evening. I have my two assistants here, so, just quickly before I call them up, we have the film class coming up that they'll be attending whichever 4 films that they finish, they'll be in Albuquerque at the film festival. That's like the beginning of April. But all those submissions have to be completed by the end of this month and turned in. And then just last year, just if you all recall, we did have one student win a prize on their film. So, we have that coming up. Of course, we have also, testing coming up soon. It's sooner rather than later. We're gonna try and do the science testing, which is just 5th and 8th grade. The last full week in March, which is I think the week of March 23rd. I'm trying to get that just separated a little bit from the other testing so that they're not extremely tired and sick of testing, and hopefully to do a little bit better on it. With that, we also in our 7th and 8th periods, we went before we were separating students by like how they scored on the test. On their beginning of year, middle of year, end of year test, which was the maths testing. Now it's the iReady. We made a change, and that change is just happening this week based on what the PLCs are doing. And so they're now separated by grade level so that whatever is being taught in math in the afternoon, they have like a second one, and it's kind of like separated between those that are understanding the concepts more and those that are not and need a little bit more like maybe like foundational skills, like say maybe more work in fractions to really be able to expand on ratios. So that's a little bit of change. And so they are now with their grade level, and just see how it goes. At the end, we won't know much. You know, it takes time for us to see results, but hopefully we'll see them sooner rather than later. We also within that, for those 7th and 8th periods, the teachers will be covering like test taking strategies. And using again, that's teaching like the concepts also, but test taking strategies, because there are strategies that help you do better overall. Good test takers and bad test takers, there's strategies that help. So we're doing all those kind of things. But I will call up my assistants right now. This is from our after school program. Come on, this is DeAndre Chavez. And this is Elijah De La Garza. They are in our thermodynamic and 3D printing after school STEM program class. We currently have 6 3D printers. We had 4 that are older, and they only printed in one color. So if you wanna pass that around, so there's our Adobe that was printed. There's another one. Okay. So that was, and there was only printing in one color, and we only had a few colors. So the newer ones that we got, you can print in more colors. So do you wanna pass those out? Okay, so these were made for board members.
Thanks.
And Mr. Cheney, they'll get you one afterwards. They didn't get you.
You? These are awesome.
So, and those are our 3D printers. So. Okay. Here is a little Hello Kitty. That's a pencil holder. So you can pass that around. And then who wants to go first? With your stuff. You will, oh, after that.
I got the design off Bamboo Lab. It like other creators have already made this, but I used it. But right now we're working on the process of making our own design.
So, and then each one, will you explain to them how you have to put it
It
together?
came in like 4 different parts: the head, the arms, the body, and the legs.
That's great.
It's awesome.
It will be better in Cowboys.
I was just.
Good job, there.
Mine also came in 4 parts, and I also got it from the Bamboo Studio. It came. The first part was the base. The second part was one of the handle things. The other part was the other top, and then the fourth part was the signs and the folder for the signs.
It's cool.
Good job. And did you guys want to add this stuff? And this other, all this other stuff? You want to?
These are parts from the 3D things. Like for this one was for mine. So all the access stuff comes out of a hole in the back of the 3D printer. It's called poop.
So, yes, and so these designs, they were already created by somebody else, but they're gonna start working on creating their own designs and continuing with the 3D printer. So, they're really enjoying it. We have a lot of students that have signed up for that. And. So.
Good job.
Love it. Oh, don't forget your food. Don't forget the rest of the food.
Thank you for sharing that with us.
Come back.
Any other questions?
Any questions, comments, anything about?
No, if you guys have more things, maybe bigger projects, bring them on in.
No, not Cowboys though.
Hey,
It has to be Cowboys, Mr. Gallows. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you guys for our gifts. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It's awesome.
Jason?
All right, good evening,
And
everybody.
welcome.
I didn't bring any gifts, so.
Yeah.
We started out.
How about you look back?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding,
Yeah, I'll
bring
just-
us a snack.
Yeah. I don't know, I'll have to figure something out
Oh,
next time. Thank you guys for having me. So, I guess today was my first official day as a principal. Start off with a bang, of course, so we'll see how it goes, hopefully, pretty well. This is Mr. Robertson's report, but, a few things have been happening around the high school. Mrs. Kwame and Miss Silvis took our kiddos to Las Cruces for a Science Olympiad competition. That was about 2 weeks ago now, January 30th, week and a half ago. And they did okay. A little smaller team than what we've had in the past, but it's kind of a little bit of a rebuilding year, but nice to have some kids in there and getting to see new things and seeing what's possible out there. Ms. Potta and I took a group of kids to Santa Fe this last week. And we spent one night, got to go to the Roundhouse, see the Senate, meet the governor, meet the lieutenant governor. It was really cool to see our kids interact with the governor, and just, it gives them an idea like, hey, I can do this. This isn't insanely unattainable. This is just right here. I could be an elected official. This is really neat.
Awesome.
Also, we have a math competition coming up this Saturday. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen because we only have a couple kids, like a few kids have dropped out. I think we originally had 6 and I think we have 4 kids that have conflicts for that day, so. I hope that that happens, but it might be to come to a point where we're gonna have to cancel that. I'm not sure what's gonna happen exactly. Today we had a staff meeting and we discussed having a student of the month. The teachers seem receptive to that. Miss Silva said she would be interested in running it and adding that. We'll probably pick a kid from each grade once a month and, try to maybe give them a plaque or something and then their picture in the paper and just a way to support our kids that are doing well. I feel like we come down on kids that aren't doing so well all the time and we don't give enough recognition of those kids that are doing a great job. It wouldn't necessarily be academic, but just kind of a well-rounded student who's doing what they should be doing. I think that's about it. Any questions?
Thank you for stepping in.
You did great.
Congratulations.
Come back again.
I think the science thing, we had a small number, because we had kids basketball.
Yeah.
And we had a basketball game, and so the kids couldn't go to that district game that day. Okay, I sent you guys the new schedules. I know I should just wait till almost season starts. There was one conflict on the track schedule you guys had. They moved the date to the 17th, that was after our Rich Memorial for the one in Silver City, so that was a date change. And there was a time change on a baseball game. I can't remember which game it was, but I sent you the new schedules. And they are correct, the ones that we just sent out. This Thursday, we have big games, we have 4 games. We haven't done that for this year, we've been doing this boys away, girls home, vice versa. So if you guys wanna go enjoy a lot of basketball, that'll be this Thursday. Girls will start off at 3 o'clock and boys it'll be girls JV, boys JV, and then varsity. Our girls basketball team is, they're sitting at the top in the district right now. I'm thinking they're gonna get a pretty good seed, if they continue playing where they are. I don't know. You guys can go watch some good basketball, and our girls can put up a lot of points. I mean, I don't care who you're playing, when you've got your old teams putting up 60 to 70 points in a game, that's a lot of points for girls, a lot. Even our Cruces Reds that came back today, they haven't seen nothing like that since this whole year. It's our girls think sure how to put that ball in the hole. Our boys, they're struggling now. We've had some key injury and now key injuries. They're just that, it is what it is. It's what we have, and our district's pretty good, and our boys, we're short already. When you lose one of your best players for 2 weeks, and I don't know, he hasn't texted me. I know he's going to be get released today. But we lost another one with another ankle injury this week, so it is what it is. And our boys, I know DJ and them are doing their best to compete, and they have competed. They, going in the halves, the last couple games, like to see is one of the top teams in the state. They're a couple points down, and then the wheels fell off. But anyway, I still give them good credit for that. Kids are fighting. A lot of young kids are playing. Softball and baseball, and track officially started. Today was first day, so they started. I don't think track started. We had an official student today, a long-time official, and Los Cruces, and DJ was over there at that, and so I don't think they started track today, but I think they'll start kicking that off tomorrow too.
Chair one.
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Chair one.
Oh, gosh, cheer, that's what I was gonna start with. I'm so proud of our cheer. I don't know, guys, amazing. Okay, Thursday, those of you that were here, they did a performance I had not seen, and we obviously watch a lot of our cheer team. It was amazing. I think it's probably the best I've ever seen our cheer ever. I even told Mr. Stewart after the thing, I said, y'all, and they were competing on Friday the next day. And it was unbelievable. And sure enough, they go down there, they're competing against 1, 2, 3 schools, and yeah, they won both categories.
They wouldn't recognize that, because
Yeah.
they placed first in 2 categories.
That's right, and guys, they look good right now, and we're young, we've got a load of girls and our one boy, and they compete,
When
It's-
is state that for the state competition?
when it,
Yes.
well, I don't know the exact date, and it's gonna be in 3 weeks,
Okay.
because this weekend they had to, no, not this weekend, it's this week, what is the? It might be this weekend it is, yes, they're going to cruises, and that's the only one they have closed, and they gotta compete in all of them. Or they don't get a go, that's the thing, so they'll compete over there, I'm expecting them to do pretty well over there too, I think. Miss Stewart and her coaches, I don't know if you guys have watched our girl, but they've done a great job, I like their confidence right now, it's amazing, they get so excited, and you just mentioned anything about cheer to them girls that you can't get them to stop talking. It's amazing, oh, I'm really proud of them, and we got a load of the young ones, that's the same thing as our coach basketball. We don't have no seniors, guys, we have 8th graders that step up and, oh my God.
And we do appreciate that.
Yeah, it's, guys,
Makes a difference.
it's pretty amazing, but thank you, oh my word,
Our girls are in cruises the 21st.
2 weeks,
Oh, okay, so maybe I'll stop by after
2 weeks.
before or after.
Yeah. Mhm. I don't think there's anything else on our stuff, this, obviously, I'll get you guys, and I'll post it, too, we'll post it, around, post it, when we figure out, district tournament bracket. So, yeah, girls are sitting first, so they'll get a buy and buy at home. So, and then, we have our girls, by the way, Cloud Cross is a big game. We can't overdo them, but, and if you guys make a game, you've gotta come watch the Mescalero game.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Mescalero, they didn't shoot very well, and that's the team that's sent second, and they're dangerous, our girls have to play ball. We can definitely use the support, and that's all Lordsburg they can mention. But anyway, anything else, guys, for me? Volleyball, by the way, is done, and football's done, too. I'll buy share it to him, I'll share it right now, the bills are all done, schedules. So,
I have a question.
yes, ma'am, go ahead,
Like always,
yes,
stipends during summer,
yes, ma'am.
is that all to all coaches or just several
No.
coaches?
No, the only, no, we don't have stipend, the coaches don't, they coach the coach in the summers.
Okay, so no one gets
Yeah,
paid?
no, there's a summer weight program.
Yeah, well, if,
But that's no, there's no coaching, so no. No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we don't, but hey, I'm all game for that, if y'all. So what we normally do, basketball usually takes over early summer, like they have priority. So June. That for instance, if I'm doing camps or something for football, the first priority goes to basketball during that month. And then come July, it flips, but what's kind of been hard though is because they've been moving the Jesse to July. And so I've been stealing them on a weekend in June. I told, usually I'm like, I need it, you're taking it in July, so. Anyway.
Coach,
Oh, sure.
Make sure the.
Nice, yeah. Yes, ma'am, yes. I didn't hear, I was talking to me, I'm sorry.
Just, in regards to that, do you have a list of volunteer coaches?
Yes,
Yes, available?
oh, yeah, we have some. Yeah, we have, and Barb has some too.
Where-
Yeah, we have to have all, because all our coaches have to do all, even if they're volunteer or not, they gotta do the same licensing, fingerprint, everything.
Okay.
And we have a lot of coaches that volunteer. We have a lot of coaches that volunteer, and then we have a lot of coaches that volunteer all summer too. That don't, well, you just gotta love kids, I guess, on that,
Right.
but
Excellent, thanks.
any other questions? No?
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you, guys.
Then truancy report, at RVT, there were 17 total parent contacts. And at DPMS, it was 20, so a total of 37. Between RVT and DPMS. And at the high school, there was a total of 26 parent contacts, from personal contacts and letters mailed. So these numbers are staying down compared to what they were last year. Still not fully one.
And I just wanna thank whoever is referring these kids to JDCS for the truancy. There is programs in the JDC that could benefit our kids and parents,
Right.
so, thank you.
And then on the superintendent's report, just, we've been working with the Southwest REC and Department of Workforce Solutions and Smith Ford to try to get an internship program at Smith Ford for our auto tech kids. So hopefully by next year we'll have that set up. And it'll be a paid internship, allow for students. So hopefully by next year we'll have that.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
You're in school session?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we have HMS.
Yeah, we have 5 of
Five
them.
students who. And they're good.
Any questions on that?
Thank you.
That's all we got?
Yeah, no, that'll be good.
Mhm. We don't have anything for this.
No.
We will move on to item 7, Board of Education issues.
Right, just a reminder, March 24th, 5:30 to 8:30, we're hosting the regional New Mexico School Board Association meeting. We'll get invitations out for that. And then the school law conference is in Albuquerque, June 4th through 6th. There's the leadership retreat for New Mexico School Board Association hasn't been determined as far as location.
That's gonna be it.
And where?
Oh, never mind. Oh, yes, town.
His house? Okay.
Yes, town.
And that's July 9th through 11th, and we're gonna start doing it on. The flag did not come in, so we're gonna move Johnny's flag to next month, yeah, because it hasn't come in yet. And then a reminder, Student Achievement Awards, the Excellence of Student Achievement Awards. I need names via email. I've gotten Alyssa's. If you have any other suggestions, because in the New Mexico School Board Association, we pay for one. And then we as a district, if you want others, we can do.
Right.
Yeah, there's like four,
Right.
4 or 5.
I put in,
Departments.
yeah, I put in Lordsburg Police Department, EMS. The Sheriff's Office, State Police, both Hidalgo and City Fire. Because they do help us tremendously, like during logging, volunteer crime,
Yeah,
and their presence.
Yeah, but just one black for each of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take it on my paycheck here.
Yeah. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay.
Item 8, consent agenda, approval of accounts payable and payable liability transactions.
Nobody this month.
Wow.
Yes, I'm so good.
We're doing pretty good.
Right.
Well, we'll put points next time. I do stand for any questions that you might have on the checks. I'm still fine.
I don't know, but I still.
You know, that payout from that portion, in that payout check from last meeting, was that rectified?
I'm looking at the checks right here, and that specific one has not cleared yet. Julio was wanting to reach out to him. So we'll see what he has to say.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions? I will entertain a motion for approval of accounts payable and payroll liability transactions.
I'll make that motion to approve. Payroll and. Friendly terms.
Motion by Mrs. Escobar. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Fada. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. There are no bars and nothing for item 9, discussion items. So we'll move on to 10, action items, discussion and possible action on strategic planning proposal.
Right, so, and we started out with 2 different quotes from 2 different energy entities, and they have merged into a hybrid solution, and so we're gonna entertain that proposal tonight, and they are online, and I'm not sure who, Stephanie or Bobby, who's gonna speak.
Good evening, Bobby Gutierrez. I met most of you last week in Santa Fe at the School Boards Association meeting when we had our wonderful dinner at Santa Fe School of Cooking. And with us tonight are Denise Johnston. She was there too. And then Stephanie Wyka from Everest. And so we have collaborated a lot the past couple of years. And we thought that maybe we could do something really unique and wonderful for Lordsburg since this is your first strategic plan. So you get Denise and me as your boots on the ground and down there with you and getting to know your community and your teachers and your students and your administrators. And then we've got Stephanie's wonderful brain that works with Everest and all the software engineers that both she and I have been educating for a while about kids and school districts and our demographics in New Mexico, and really giving a good hard look at your data and giving us really, really good data that we can look at those measures of progress and what we need to do. And then hearing from your teachers around your goals. And we've got 16 points that we want to touch on that will really give you good information for growth, not so much proficiency, but growth, because growth is really what we're about. And Everest put out a recent report that probably some of you are aware of that really demonstrated that growth is really good in New Mexico, but because we have a little bit higher standard, with proficiency being considered 4 or 5, where in our surrounding states it's 3, it kind of pushes us down when in reality, we're performing just as well as most other states. It's just the scoring is different. And we've said that's okay. We can keep that high standard. In fact, we think we should, but at the same time, acknowledge that our students are on a little bit different measurement scale than perhaps our surrounding states. So with that, I'll open it up for questions. And Stephanie, if there's anything you or Denise would like to add, please feel free to do so at this time. And thank you so much for considering our joint proposal. And we think we may be onto something that would be really great for not only Lordsburg Municipal Schools, but also the state of New Mexico.
Any questions for?
I don't.
No?
I loved it. I'm
Excited.
Yes.
We're probably gonna have a
Stephanie,
plan.
do you have anything?
Denise?
I just wanted, Denise, go ahead, please.
I think Bobby covered it. Excuse me. We would, as Bobby said, we would be your boots on the ground in your community, getting input from teachers, administrators, the community. We believe this would be a great partnership, a win-win. And I believe you would be getting the best of the both of us. Companies.
Yes.
And then I just wanted to say what a pleasure it is to be with you all tonight. I know you all had the opportunity to meet my colleague Erica over the weekend. And I'm so sorry I couldn't be there with you all at NMSBA, but we are truly just so excited to support your district and your commitment to your students, your student outcomes, and really wrapping your own community around this work. So as Bobby and Denise had shared, they will be there, boots on the ground, but we'll also be there for some of the data support and data analytics as well. So I promise you we'll get to meet in person too. And just so excited to be with you all. Thank you so much.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Bobby, are we still looking at what kind of timeline do we do to approve this?
We're
To
still
start?
looking at April, May, June, and delivering a plan to you around the 1st of July so that you have it ready for your next academic year.
Right.
Right.
Then y'all have a handout, I'll put it on this, put a little email it to you.
Yes.
And if you can start earlier, Denise and I would be all for that. March is good.
Yes.
We need to do a board retreat first with you all. So we need about 5-6 hours of your time to find out, what board goals you want to develop as a school board and what your core values would be. What do you want your legacies to be as school board members and in community service? We love to find out all those things, and we'll make it fun. It's very hands-on, very engaging. And then from there, once we get the board goals, we'll say, okay, we're going out to your schools and your Steve and his team and your school administrators, your teachers, your parents, your community members, and you tell us for in community who you want us to meet with. You know, if it's your Chamber of Commerce, if it's other community groups that you have that we may not be aware of because every community is a little bit different. We'll meet with whoever you tell us you want to meet with and say, these are the board goals. These are the touch points that we really need to figure out to improve student achievement. And then what are those priorities or critical actions that we need to work on to say, if all teachers did this, if everybody had training in this or in that, we could do better. And then setting those measurable outcomes by, percentages overall over the course of 3, 4, 5 years. We used to say a strategic plan is good for 4 or 5 years. Lately, we've been saying 3 because, there's been a lot of changes in New Mexico with secretaries, but we think 3 is good, but it's also renewed annually. And the beauty of it is we don't want it to be a shelf document. We review it, we adjust, we move forward. So we don't want it to be something that you do and we make this beautiful document and we've done our strategic plan, and then 5 years later, someone's dusting it off the shelf and saying, what is this? And so we want to make it very useful for you, and so that we really reflect the growth, the training and professional development that your teachers need, and the supports that your students need to really move forward in a really impactful and powerful way for Lordsburg Municipal Schools. And I think looking at your website and what you're doing right now in career tech is pretty amazing, given the remoteness, if you will, somewhat of Lordsburg and then your small student population. You guys are already making great strides into that, and it's really exciting to hear about your bond election this evening. So definitely you've got good things going on. So how can we highlight and showcase that and help you to make it even better? So that would be our goal, and we'll get all that information and compile it into a report. And then as an added bonus with developing that graduate profile, I know you've had some surveys going on, and Denise and I are going to do that just as an added bonus because the two go hand in hand as they should. So there's no charge on the part of either of our entities for just developing your graduate profile based on that survey information and any other information that we may pick up along the way.
And I would just add that our process is different from others because it's ground up rather than top down. It's not going to be sitting with superintendent and board members and developing a plan. It's ground up, and the board goals are the starting point. And it's a very nice process.
And after each session with whatever, whether it's your schools or your community groups or parents, we'll send you a summary report, and everything that anyone said about any of your goals, you'll get that information. And, oftentimes it's very complimentary and sometimes it's a little hard to hear, but sometimes it's those hard to hear things that really make us think about how can we do better and what do we need to do differently. But you'll have all that information up front before you ever receive your draft plan. And Denise and I and Stephanie and Erica, who unfortunately couldn't be here this evening, will collaborate closely on all of that.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
And any questions that you have, we're happy to answer them.
Right.
I don't think there are any questions.
Thank you for joining us, and we're looking forward to it.
So we need a motion to approve.
So are we. Denise and I've developed a real love for southern New Mexico. We live in the north, but I also work for the regional education cooperatives, and we love coming to southern New Mexico. And we've been researching about Lordsburg, and we're really excited to get there and be those boots on the ground for you. And we're going to educate ourselves too about your beautiful community.
Yes.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion. I'll make the motion to approve the secret plan. Motion by Mrs. Escobar,
Second the motion.
seconded by Mr. Guerrero. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. We'll move on to B, discussion and possible action on community solar project.
Great.
So, thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So last month we tabled, I just got the report back via email, maybe right before the board meeting started. I forwarded it to y'all, but I'm sure you hadn't had time to read it. From the attorneys, and like everything, there's pros and cons. There's really no guarantee that it's gonna be a 10 point. They say they get 10% savings, but then if anyone has extra fees and they may have fees that come along. So there's no guarantees. It's a 25-year contract. Penalties, if you terminate within the first 5 years, it looks like it could cost us about $30,000. If we terminate within the first 3, it's based upon actual savings, which would be about $6,700. And then you just said basically that actual savings are not guaranteed. Efficiency of solar panels dwindle annually. They're not hours, rate fluctuations, or loss of anticipated value of the bill credits due to market conditions or political changes in priorities. So, I mean, it's not, it could be a good thing. I mean, we could say 10%. I know the other, in the county would go with it. I think the city would. So, I mean, but I don't know if we should, well, we could vote. There are other grants. I mean, like I told you last month, we applied for a grant to put parking structure. We didn't get it, but it would put parking structures with solar panels and stuff like that. We can look at that route. We can go the community solar route. The good thing about being solar is we don't have to worry about investing anything or spending money. I don't think our bill would ever be more than what PNM would be, but we're still obligated. Whether even if they're not, say something happens and they're not producing energy, we're still obligated to pay the bills. So it's I don't know.
I'm still on, is it cost effective for the duration of that contract?
I don't know. According to the representative, it's supposed to be a 10% savings across the board for 25 years. But it's just off the rates, and if they add any fees or convenience, it doesn't necessarily equate out to the true 10% in the states in the contract. It's just off of the rate.
What were the penalties?
They're,
Yeah.
3 years is about $6,000 or $7,000. And I don't know, I got to my rates, I don't remember saying after the 5 years, That'd be like $30,000, that's quite a bit, I don't know why 3-year cancellation would be that much cheaper than a 5-year, so I need to double check that. And we could table it again, although I don't know how many, because they don't have so much energy that they're able to produce, and if somebody else comes in and, takes whatever share they were gonna give to us, then we wouldn't be able to do it. So we could table it again, because like I said, I haven't had a chance to talk to the attorneys. I mean, I just got it right before the board.
I believe we should table that for the reason that there's no legal advice on that yet.
Yeah.
See that line there about the fees and so forth to include, do we have, the grid to cover that? Cause there are a lot of panels coming into town.
Yeah, that's that one that they're building is the one we would start growing.
And is it cost effective for the duration of the contract?
Yeah.
Agree with that, Eve?
We should table. Just see this.
Yeah, we just want the motion to table.
Yeah.
Motion to
Okay, motion by Mr. Guada. Do I have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Seconded by Mr. Delao. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. With all business taken care of, we will adjourn at 7:07.